Hello fellas, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm gonna do some firewood prospecting. That's what I call it, prospecting for firewood with the family this morning. And basically to me what that means is taking a Sunday morning drive, although it's really Saturday, and I want to drive around my neighborhood and try to see where I can cut firewood, places that have firewood, places that maybe got a bunch of old dead trees or something that's in the way, or maybe they bulldozed something and piled up some trees. Somewhere that, number one, has got a bunch of firewood that I can get in there and cut some good stuff, and number two, just as important, somewhere that might have a need for somebody to cut some of their firewood. The people that own the land and the acreages and the things like that that are abandoned, they're not just going to let you cut firewood for the heck of it. Mostly they need to feel like they have a need to have some of that cut, like they're getting something for free out of the deal. That way they let you cut. So I've done good at working the last couple weeks, and we tore down that trailer house and we did all that good, but I feel like I've done poor at finding new firewood to cut. And now that the winter's coming and my digging has slowed down and this and that, cutting firewood is my main hobby, and I've run out of cool places to go cut. So I need to get to looking here, and I thought I'd try to show you what I do to look for firewood. All of us firewood guys on the YouTube here, we're always showing you how we cut firewood and what it looks like and how we split it, but you never see a video about how people go look for firewood. So let's see if we can go look for some wood, and I don't know if this video will be any good or not, but I'm gonna see if I can take you along with me. And also, if you would, leave me some tips or comments about how you guys look for firewood, and the guy with the best tips or comments, I'm gonna give an eastonmade wood splitter sticker to, which I know it's just a sticker, but to me it's pretty awesome. Easton-made splitters I love it. Andrew Easton sent me a couple Bearing Buddy hubcaps and a couple stickers, and I got one on my gun safe, and I got one on my garage door, and I'm going to give the other one to you guys if you want it. But so to start with here, I got on my old farm clothes, my work pants, my work boots, and you want to look like like you fit in and know what you're doing when you go, because I'm going to knock door to door, try to visit with some farmers. I'm taking my better pickup, that way I don't, normally I drive old junk, but I don't want to pull in there and they think, oh, who's this guy, is he going to steal something? You know, look like you fit in, probably try to drive your better vehicle, and go around and try to visit with some people and look for some firewood. Let's see what happens. Okay fellas, the first area we come across here is about 3 miles from my home, and it's an old abandoned acreage that's about, I bet you, 5 to 7 acres of just complete trees, overgrown, intertwangled. It's got 3 separate approaches coming off the gravel road. Let me show it to you here. This place has got 3 separate approaches coming off the gravel road. There's one here, but there's another one here and another one down here, and there's an old abandoned house in here. You probably can't see it real good. Some sheds, some outbuildings. Nothing here is livable anymore, and it looks like mostly it would need to be tore down and cleaned up. And so I've got this hunting app on my phone called OxQuest or Ox Map, where, you know, it shows you who owns the land for if you want to go try to hunt there. But it shows that this acreage and this, oh, I don't know, 50 or 100 acres around it is owned by some fellow whose name I don't recognize. But they got firewood to galore in there, and they got a need to let somebody cut some of the dead stuff or try to clean something up. And it's also kind of cool and wild looking in there, the place I'd like to be to cut some firewood. So let's go on over to the neighbors and talk real nice and see if they know who owns this. Maybe I could figure out who owns it to call them or stop by and ask them permission. Okay, we're gonna pull into the neighbor's house here, and they got some tree branches down from this bad ice storm. But we're gonna go politely knock on the door and see if maybe they know who owns that acreage, or if maybe it'd be them, and ask them if they would let us know about cutting firewood. Well, that's a dead end at this place. Nobody answered the door. I'm not even sure if anybody lives here anymore. So this place is well kept up, but there ain't no signs of recent vehicle traffic. And there's also a ramp, a wheelchair ramp leading up to the door. And so it wouldn't surprise me if this is an elderly person or couple that owns this, and they might not live here anymore. They might be in the nursing home. You'll notice when I knocked on the door that I backed down off the steps. That way if somebody did answer, I'm not in their face and I'm not as scary. Somebody out here in the country knocking on your door out of the blue. That way it lets them be up top and look down on me, so they're kind of feel more comfortable, or like maybe they're in a position of power. Imagine if you're 70 or 80 years old, some lady and some 40-year-old guy out of the blues knocking on your door out here in the middle of nowhere. But nobody answered, so we'll have to go down and try a different neighbor. Okay, that went pretty good. That house was a good one because you could see the baby toys and signs of that people live there, and a fella about my age answered, so he's comfortable with me. And I told him I lived down the road about 3 miles and I cut firewood to heat my house, and talked real nice with him. He said the guy that owns that acreage that we're looking at lives out of Omaha, which is an hour and a half from here, probably some old guy, but the farmer down the road farms it. And he said, go ask that guy. He can tell you whether you can cut there or not. And then this tree grove right next to this place has got a bunch of dead wood on the ground, like full-size trees. He said, you can cut here too if you want, but he don't own that. That farmer down there does. So he says, go down there and ask that farmer. And so this is kind of like a detective whodunit cop show on TV or something, where we're following the breadcrumbs. But we're going to go down the road and see if I can ask the farmer. Well, that's kind of a dead end for now. Nobody answered the door, but I'll try to remember this farmer's name, or I'll write it down and try to get a hold of him on the phone tonight or tomorrow or something. Let's keep looking for trees. Well, guys, we found the firewood mecca here. It took some looking, but I found another place. This is an abandoned acreage of about 9 or 10 acres that I stopped and knocked on the door, and check out that tree behind me. If you can see that going straight up, barkless, dead. I'm not sure what kind it is, but everything surrounding it here is a hardwood. That's the cool thing, I think, about in my limited experience cutting trees on acreages, is the people that planted them trees back in the day. They didn't plant cottonwoods. They weren't trying to have cottonwoods. They planted hardwoods. And so when these trees die out or get blown down, it's hardwoods that you're cutting, which is pretty cool here in Iowa. That's what we want to cut, is hardwoods. I don't want to cut no cottonwoods. But anyway, I knocked on this guy's door and just talked nice to him, and he said, sure, I got trees back here. I'd love to have you help me clean them up. I'll try to show you them, and then I want to show you some more of this one behind me. Is pretty cool. I want to cut it down, and it's dry. It'll be firewood ready to go right now. I bet you I can burn for a month on this tree behind me in my wood boiler. But anyway, if you like this video and you're watching to this point, give an old boy a like and subscribe, and leave me a comment about how you guys find firewood. What's your tips and tricks for doing it? And I'll send you that Easton Made sticker if you want it. I've never sent anything in my YouTube, but I'll figure it out. You know, you can message me or something and give me your address, and I'll send you that sticker. I really like Easton Made, and they're a heck of a log splitter, and I like them stickers, and I'll send it to you. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Here's some good limb wood that came down here that needs to be pared off and cut up. It's just a menage a trois in here, but you can see here's a dry one. This is some kind of hardwood. I don't even know exactly what that is, but it's dead and dry. And there's another one right there. That'll make some real nice firewood. Here's a really cool, big, I think it's an ash tree. I believe that's an ash, unless it's a walnut.